guys, welcome to the Gli Cumbare Podcast. This is, I'm not sure how many episodes in because it's so much fun. We don't even keep track of how many episodes that we're in. So it's that a spoof off of our series, our YouTube series of Gli Cumbare, which basically is an Italian-Canadian series. And we sort of morphed it into a podcast, which is totally fun because we have some actors or some rather cast members who were on the series on the podcast. I'm sure if you've seen previous ones, you guys already know that who they are, basically.
That's why Alfie's on the show. Because he was a previous character. Of course, Francesca. Let's shout out to Francesca. She's not here.
Yep.
Myself, Stefano, and Lisa, we're going to man the fort today for the Gli Cumbare Podcast. But Francesca, we miss you. Next week, you'll be back.
Yep.
Please, we need some more food ideas because your Saporito segment is fantastic. I love listening about food.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're here. We're going to man the fort. And Lisa, we wanted to talk about the series a little bit. What do you think?
We did. We wanted to talk about the series and all the pleasant memories of writing those scripts.
Let's explain why we want to talk about the series, because we're backwards.
Yes, we are. Well, some of us more than others, but yes, we are backwards a bit.
That was straight shot to me.
Yes, it was.
Okay, good.
Yes, it was, Vanny.
Good.
So basically, we started with the season 3 and 4, and then we ended up on season 1 and 2. So
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It made a lot of sense, but it helped us write the season 1 and 2 because we had a storyline and we had an ending for season 4.
Kind of. I think we should explain why we're crooked.
I think you should explain that.
Okay, well,
because you hold the championship cup for that.
I know you started it. Let's be honest. So Lisa did start Gli Cumbare many years ago, and it wasn't what it is today. It was basically, an episode here, an episode there. Let's have fun on screen. There was like kind of a storyline, but it was minor. It wasn't.
No, I wouldn't even call it minor. I'd call it virtually non-existent.
Well, was it? Yeah,
the characters were there. The storyline wasn't. So
Okay.
it was just basically a hoopla of all people coming together and just
let's have fun kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, Lisa had started this, and then eventually I got into the picture, and other characters, all the characters that you've seen on the show, eventually got there. But then, at a certain point, we said, okay, let's sit down and actually write a storyline. Let's put work into this because it's fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it for real. Let's write a storyline. Let's work on the comedy, work on all the things that we can do. And so we decided that. But by this point, it's season 3. And I don't know why we just kept going. We just wrote season 3 and wrote it. And then let's keep going. Season 4, wrote it. And then we kind of said, we don't really have season 1 and 2.
We're missing first 2 seasons.
So let's write it. And we kind of put together a prequel, I guess, to explain season 3 and 4. And now it's actually a full-fledged, I think it's, 4 seasons of good stuff, man.
Yeah.
For the budget that we had a very small budget called nothing. And that everything takes money. And we did this all because we
gratis.
We did it all because we enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so productions are expensive, and there was some money spent. But when I say nothing, I mean it as in terms of real numbers. If you put a series together,
exactly,
you're in the $50,000 an episode, and we were in the $50 an episode or something. It was, but it was all hard work, and none of us really had experience in a series. You were an actress. Lisa, by the way, is a fantastic actress. I mean, she guided us.
Not really, but
in terms of characters and developing a character and working the character and working the camera. I mean, Lisa helped, thank God, But the rest of us, we've never really done any of this.
Yeah, but
Lisa never wrote either.
Nope. Never.
And myself and Lisa ended up writing. So, guys, now Gli Cumbare has season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4.
Yeah.
And it kind of all makes sense. So just that in itself is an accomplishment.
We don't even remember what we wrote, but it made sense. So that's the funny part.
You should definitely check it out. If you like the podcast and you've seen characters like Alfie, like Francesca, you'll see us with a different persona.
Yep.
Doing a storyline, and it is funny. If the storyline doesn't even make sense, you're going to laugh at the stupidities. It's kind of written. We wrote it. We wrote the storylines, but we ad-libbed most of it. And,
And
a lot of there's a lot of gold in there that when you're ad-libbing, stuff comes out, and it's wow, really, really funny.
Well, you see that in our bloopers too.
Yes, we have bloopers on it too. So guys, season 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's brought us to this podcast, right?
I love it. The fact that we're actually doing the podcast too and having the spinoff, and we have so many subscribers. it makes it that much more enjoyable because I know and we know that there's many people watching it, right?
Yeah.
So we're glad, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and just keep coming and have those numbers increase because you support us, and it's really an encouragement, especially when we know that we act like yahoos and you guys love watching us act like yahoos. And we sort of intertwined all interesting stuff in our Yahoo ship or our Yahoo Nation.
You sound like a Yahoo, but
I
whatever.
I do, because it's my word.
That's the way it goes.
Now, speaking of words, I have my segment.
Oh, Lisa has a segment.
Well, you sounds
don't
like
know.
it just started. I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds good.
Okay, so my segment is actually a superstition segment. And it's funny because just before I was thinking of the prior guest that we had on the other podcast gave that idea, and I was like, oh, dang, I was just going to talk about that idea, and it's the malocchio.
Oh,
yeah.
You're going to dig into that?
I'm digging.
That's a big one.
I like to dig.
That's a big one.
Actually, I'm going to...
So this segment is called...
Superstizioni. So, yes, and that's my segment. So, that's what it is. So, the malocchio, and I'm going to explain what it is because I do have the definition here, and there's ways against it for those of you who believe in it, because there's some people in this room that don't believe in superstitions or ghosts.
And there's some that do.
Yes, there's some that do. So, what is the malocchio? So, the malocchio in English is the evil eye. So, it's a superstitious condition.
Now I know why you believe it. Lisa's last name is Occhio Nero, which in Italian is black eye.
Black eye. Not evil eye.
Well, black eye, I don't know. What would it signify?
As in, I am going to punch somebody and give them a black eye. Right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So it's basically a condition or a state of being of misfortune, negative energy, unluckiness. So mal meaning bad and occhio meaning eye. And it can also be associated, believe it or not, with envy. Okay, so
I think it's only envy.
It's somebody who's jealous of somebody else. Exactly.
So they give you the malocchio.
So it's a southern Italy curse.
Oh.
Yes, it's from southern Italy.
Figured.
And how can you find it? Now, anybody who has nonni, they all know, the nonnas all know how to get rid of the evil eye. So that's basically you have your bowl of water and you put a drop of oil and mix it. So basically if the oil turns into the eye, an eye of sorts, then the person has the evil eye. Okay?
Now you all know why some people don't believe this. Let's just say how you get malocchio.
Well, somebody just stares at you wrong.
So like right now, because I'm not a big believer in this stuff, but Lisa right now is giving me the malocchio. It's like I corne, they go like this. And
no, the cornello actually protects you against it. So they're bull horns.
If you have a necklace that has a corne in it, they call it in Italian.
Cornicello.
Cornicello, which is whatever, nothing.
It's an amulet that protects against the evil eye.
It's like when you watch The Incredibles, the daughter has the shield. No, it's the son that has a shield that can protect you, or the daughter, one of those. Anyways, so malocchio, it's someone gives it to you, someone that is mad at you.
Mad or envious.
And they give you, I'm going to give him, it's like bad luck. They're giving you bad luck.
They're giving you a curse, quote unquote.
There you go.
And in
Pirates
order
of the Caribbean. Yes.
That's it. In order to defeat it, you have to do this little ritual with oil and water. And apparently it rids you of the evil eye. And that's why, and one of the special, I guess, amulets or trinkets that we normally have, this is actually from Rome. And it's an eye. So this protects against the evil eye. So if anybody gives me the evil eye, they can go fuck themselves. No.
So just a powerful necklace. Damn.
It's a necklace.
That powerful necklace can protect you from the evil eye.
It protects.
So it builds a shield around you. That's amazing.
That's the purpose. Because nobody wants to feel like they are envied. Or they are envious of somebody. So if that's the case, they wish harm or misfortune on that person based on the fact that they don't want that person to succeed, or they have that idea that they are better or holier than thou. So they try to take them down a notch. But it's not meant as a good gesture. It's meant actually as a negative gesture. So what I say is that anybody who's envious of somebody else, anybody who has negative feelings against somebody else, the problem is not that other person. The problem is you, that you are envious of the person. So the problem stems with you personally. That's what I think.
We should all love and be loved, man.
Give peace a chance.
Right? Give peace a chance. Just be thankful that you're healthy.
Yep.
And don't let these Italian superstitions that are fucking weird, don't let them.
A lot of people believe in them.
But like seriously believe in it. That's why it's weird. Like people really like they they'll go home and say, "Oh my God, someone gave me a malocchio," and then they'll spend weeks trying to figure out who it is, and some will be convinced saying, "I know that person gave me a malocchio. It's got to be that person." And I've had this conversation with people, and I'm like, "Alrighty then."
Well, they say the malocchio, when you get it, you feel malaise, you have headaches. So that's how you would, quote unquote, diagnose yourself as having the
Could
malocchio.
also be called like a cold or change of weather, like. You feel when it's gray outside, you kind of feel, I mean, that would probably constitute more than...
It could constitute.
Than the dépanneur guy giving you a malocchio because you were mean to him when you bought a pack of gum.
Could be. Well, I don't think he would be that angry because he would be envious of you. Maybe you have the last gum.
Maybe he likes my car.
Why he's envious.
Maybe he liked my car and he wanted to give me a malocchio.
It could be.
Okay.
Anything can happen.
All right.
But the choice is yours to believe it or not.
There you go. And now that terminates
Segment. That's my segment.
That's your
segment. So now we have your segment.
My segment. Mine is a
segment.
simple segment, guys. I play music. I play a lot of weddings. I play a lot of Italian weddings. And we're actually going to do a podcast on weddings. But I just wanted to talk about one of my gigs that wasn't a wedding. And one of my segments is called just gig, things that happen on my gigs. And I was at an event. I'm not going to name the company. It was a corporate event. It was a conference. There was about 150 people, and it was a buffet style meal. Okay, so there was food for about 150 people. And so the band, we were 4 people in the band. It was like jazz cocktail stuff.
Nice.
And so we were there to set up around 2:00, and we started playing at 5:30, and it went till 9:30. So we were there as of 1:30 to get there to start setting up at 2. That's if you calculate the hours, it's a long time.
Oh yeah.
So we asked the girl who hired us, and we just said, "Hey, do you mind if we just go?" Respectfully, we just said, "Hey, do you mind if we go grab a dish so we can eat something?" And the lady literally answered, "Oh, I'm sorry, the food is counted." Now this is a buffet; it's not a sit-down meal.
Oh my God.
So she's literally said, "No, the food is counted and it's a per head service. So I'm sorry, if you can maybe sneak an olive or something, but don't let anyone see because my boss is going to get really mad."
So you guys didn't eat anything?
So she literally, and this is why I'm bringing it up, is because this is an Italian podcast. Like, it's like,
As Italians.
it's like, "Oh my God, you gotta, what? You're the plumber. You're here for 8 minutes. You gotta eat something."
Exactly. Cookies come out at Arali's.
You're just always eating. So I could not believe it. We were there for hours, and at the end of the night, like tons of food went right back into the kitchen that was going straight to the garbage.
And you guys didn't eat?
The lady did not even say, "Hey, now that everyone had a chance to eat, go grab something."
Oh, that is terrible.
Nothing.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, that is very, very
like
classless. Like, that's horrible.
I'm sorry. I don't want a company to spend more. Like, we did get paid to play there. So it's fine. It's just, there was bread, crackers, cheese, olives.
And you guys couldn't eat any of that?
She did not want us to go to the table because it looked bad. Because if her boss saw, I don't know how they would actually charge this. It's like it's at a hotel and it's a buffet. How is the hotel going to know if there is an extra person that went to that buffet table? Yeah. Like, how are you going to get charged more for this?
Oh, that's terrible. Oh my God. That's terrible.
Do you believe that?
You know what? I'd rather not, because that's just downright rude and just disrespectful to the people that are helping you with your event.
And you know what's funny? This is the corporate world. That party itself, with everything that was there were speeches. I don't want to say what company, but it's a mutual fund company. Like, these are investors.
Wow.
They probably paid about $40,000 for that party. So
Oh.
Just to say that they, how much could it have cost? $200 more?
Well, not even. I mean, you're eating olives. Like, really?
Yeah. But just to say, they spent a shitload of money. And these are people that act like, even if I'm at a restaurant, I'm at a table with someone and I have a $40 plate and that person has no food, I'm going to offer them some of my food.
Of course.
I don't know.
That's
Anyway,
just bloody horrible.
that's my story.
That's just very that's like
That's
very
my
sad.
story. That's my
So that goes to show you want to go to an Italian wedding because we cater to eating. Nothing
there's a
but
lot of eating. There's a lot of food involved. And it's not that others don't. It's not, I'm not going to say that it has anything to do with other nationalities or whatever, because they're all,
Everybody's different. Yeah.
everybody's different, and everyone's nice. But you're figuring, this is corporate. There's tons of money. Corporate is tons of money. It's a Tuesday night event. So they must have spent $50,000 on this event. Like, oh my God. And you can't spend a little bit more to make the people eat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's terrible. I don't agree with that. That's just horrible.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think it would teach people to be a little bit more respectful of, who you hire, especially musicians.
No, anybody. But anyway, that's like, for me, it's not because of the musician. I'm not.
It's a courtesy thing. You're there to help.
Right.
So
I would even tell the waiters working, hey guys, take a plate, go in the back. And
but
you've been working since 10 o'clock.
Yeah, but they devalued you guys in terms of, the service that you're providing, and they just dismissed you, which is terrible.
I think the idea in the corporate world sometimes is I'm paying you, so I'm not paying you to eat. I'm paying you to work, which we did. What
the corporate world, you can't get away from it.
I guess.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next Gli Cumbare podcast. And take care, and we'll see you next week.
Subscribe.
Well, you're going to put the words around.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.